Okay, number 55, YouTube yoga routine. And we're going to do the same routine that we did yesterday, which is 2 sun salutations. The first one is going to be with variations. So we're going to do the sun salutations, the standard sun salutations, quotations around standard, because what does that mean? Standard sun salutation, just the basic, the fundamental way to do it. So we're going to do the first one with variations, and we're going to stretch and focus on your breathing within the different poses throughout the first sun salutation. And then the second one, we're going to just do a standard one. And what that does is kind of allow you to feel like the second one is easier because you're already stretched. And that allows a mindset of, hey, man, I feel good. And that's the goal of this 2 sun salutation routine. The door's out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do is begin in mountain pose. You don't have to do this. I do that, my shoulders aching. I was bench pressing yesterday, and it hurts sometimes the next day, sometimes not. I've been doing these certain stretches for it, but it's nothing to do with yoga. Actually, it does have something to do with yoga. It's about me, so I need to be aware of that shoulder. So we begin in mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart. Face my mat. Toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches one at a time to the floor. Knees are slightly bent, hips are tilted. No tension in the shoulders, no tension in the arms. Let them just hang, no tension in the neck. And what you're going to do is lengthen up. So what I do, I take the tip of my head. You can't see it because the camera angle. Eventually, I'll get a better camera, but you're pulling yourself up. That's not what you're doing. You're just lengthening up, mountain pose, and you're finding the spot where the skeleton is just standing. If there was no skin, no muscle, nothing, and you were just a skeleton, you're trying to find that spot where your skeleton is standing. And I say yours because the yoga routine is about you. And everyone's going to be different. And you're just focusing on the breathing. In the mountain pose, you're centering yourself, becoming one, like the mountain is one with the earth. We're one with the earth as well. And you're just focusing on the breathing. The entire time during the routine, you're going to stay focused on the breathing, which is the link that allows the mind and body to become one. Bring the palms together, thumbs go to the heart center. You're going to push the arms out, up and back. All you do is keep it prayer. My hands disappear out of the camera frame. So you keep your palms together or out. I go out because it matches my body, or you can just go like this. So you up and back, inhale. It's the first stretch, so just go nice and easy. Listen to the body. Exhale, hinge forward. And you're going to fall where you fall. This is the ragdoll. The arms are dangling. The head is dangling. That means there's no tension in the shoulders, the arms. No tension in the neck. You're just focusing on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. And that focus is what allows the mind and body to become one. And that focus allows you to be aware of what's going on in the body. But you're not focused on what's going on in the body. You're just aware of it. So for me, if I'm focusing on the breathing, I'm aware of tightness in my lower back, in the right side, Because for me, I have an issue with my leg and from my spine. It goes down my leg. But I'm not focused on that. I'm aware of it. Now palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You'll arch the back, raise the head, inhale. And exhale, as you exhale, you pull yourself in, push all the air out. Forehead's going to the knees. And you pull yourself in and down. And then you're going to inhale, arch the back, raise the head. Inhale as much as you can. And then exhale, as you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. Push all the air out. And again, inhale, arch the back, raise the head. And then exhale, as you exhale, you pull yourself in and down. And now the palms go to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. With the low lunge for the back foot, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, square up the hips, pushing them forward diagonally. Back is arched or straight, either way. Make sure the knee is not going over the toe. If the knee is going over the toe or over the toe too much, lengthen up. Palms are to the floor, maybe your fingertips, or maybe you're just here. Wherever you are, you're going to find a spot right before you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. This is the spot. This is the threshold. You settle there. You accept where you are. And you just focus on the breathing. You're learning acceptance. You're not trying to be somewhere. You're letting go of the mindset of trying to be somewhere. Letting go of the mindset of control. Just find the spot. Settle in it, accept it, and focus on the breathing. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, and we're going to go into the monkey. So keep the knee on the floor, toes are curled under. And if you like, you can bring the arms together, not together, parallel to each other, or out, reaching up. Fingers as wide as you can get them. Middle fingers are pointing straight up. You're reaching up. You can look forward or look up. Whatever you like to do, just find the spot that works for you. Accept it and focus on the breathing. And again, you're thinking of nothing else but the breathing, which heightens your awareness of what's going on in the body, what's going on around you. And that's the mindset you're taking off the mat. For me, if I'm focused on the breathing, I'm aware of my right shoulder, like I was mentioning, but I'm not focused on it. I'm not focused on a so-called problem. I'm just aware of it. Now palms go down, back to the front of the mat, with the back foot, knee goes up. And we're going to do a high lunge. With the high lunge, the back leg is straight as you can get it. Maybe you're to your fingertips. Maybe you're leaning to the side. That's fine. Accept it. You're learning to accept. You're learning acceptance. Essentially, you're learning to accept yourself. You're learning a mindset of acceptance on the yoga mat, which you're taking off the yoga mat and applying it in the so-called real world. If it's too much, just go back down to the low lunge. Now, we're going to do the pigeon. Right foot goes over to the left side. Get it over there how you can. It's about a foot down from the left hand. So 12 inches from the left hand. For me, I have to scoot back, square up the shoulders, and square up the hips. And you're leaning forward, falling on top of the leg. Make sure you're not twisting or you're rolling to the side. If you are, that's okay. That's where you are. That's what you accept. So you're just sinking into it. This pose, you're not pushing down. You're just letting the body go where it goes. Just focus on the breathing. Now you're going to bring yourself up. Arms go straight. Square up the hips. Shoulders are square. And you're pushing the hips diagonally. So you're pushing them forward and you're pushing up just slightly. Then you're going to find a spot right before you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. Now in this pose, the back can be straight or it can be arched a little bit, like a scoop. So you're kind of scooping out, pushing, holding, and just focusing on the breathing. Or just do the best you can. Maybe you're leaning, maybe you're down like this. Doesn't matter. That's where you are. That's what you're accepting. The routine is not you. Not trying to be somewhere, not trying to control it. You're just accepting. Then you can fall back on the leg, sink into the pose, let the body go where it goes, and just accept it. Then you're going to bring yourself back up, pushing the hips forward, arms are straight, you're pushing up, and you're finding the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go anymore. Just accept where you are, no matter where you are, that's where you are, accept it, settle in the pose, and just focus on the breathing. Your mind and body are connecting. You're doing yoga, no matter how you think the pose should look. You let go of that mindset of trying to be somewhere. Let go of the mindset of judgment. Let go of the mindset of control and just accept. Now, we're going to go into high lunge. To get in the high lunge, you just don't go into it from here. You're going to lower yourself a little bit, get out of the stretch, get the right foot up between the hands, however you can. No matter how you're doing it, just get it there. Settle in the high lunge just for a second or two. We're not going to stay here. And then you're going to go into downward dog. The downward dog, your arms are straight. Your legs are straight. Heels are towards the floor. Tailbone is going to the ceiling. So the heels are pushing into the floor. Tailbone is going to the ceiling. That's allowing you to stretch the legs. And you're pushing with your hands. Arms are straight. So there's no tension in the neck. So the head is dangling. And you're finding the spot right before you feel like, hey, I can't go any further. You settle there. You accept where you are. And you focus on the breathing. Now, you're going to slide into the upper dog. You drop down to the knees and the chest, and you slide up. With the upper dog, tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. Head is dropping back. And if this pose is too much, you go down to the small cobra. Palms are to the floor, but you're not using the palms, the hands. You're not pushing up. You're pulling up. Very important, because you're using the back muscles, which are pull muscles. So you're not pushing, you're pulling. And just focus on the breathing. Find the spot right before you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. For me, if I focus on the breathing, makes me aware of the aching that I have in my right shoulder. But I'm not focused on that. I'm not focused on the so-called problem. I'm just aware of it, but I'm focused on my breathing. Now, back to downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels towards the floor. No tension in the neck, so the head is dangling, but you are pushing in this pose, but you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. I'm just gotta fix my shirt. And then just accept where you are and focus on the breathing. It's too much, just bring yourself out of it. Go to hands and knees, whatever you need to do. Now, you're going to bring the left foot up between the hands into a low lunge. Get it there how you have to. So with the low lunge, top of the foot's to the floor in the back, knees to the floor. You're going to square up the hips, pushing them forward diagonally. Back is straight, or maybe arched. And then make sure the knee's not going over the toe or over the toe too much. If it is, you need to lengthen up. Palms are to the floor. Maybe your fingers, maybe you're here. Wherever you are, you settle there, accept where you are, and just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. That focus heightens your awareness of what's going on in the body, what's going on around you. And that is what you're taking off the mat. You focus, but you're aware of what's going on. Makes you alert. Now, think of the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up into, I'm sorry, knee doesn't go up. Toes just stay curled under. I was going to go into high lunge, but I forgot I was doing the monkey. So the monkey, knees to the floor, arms come up. So you square up the shoulders, reaching up. You can keep the arms parallel to each other or bring them out. With the fingers, make sure the fingers are wide as you can get them. Middle fingers pointing straight up. You're looking up or forward, whatever you'd like to do, and just focus on the breathing. Now, if you're focused on the breathing and you feel like it's too much on your back knee, your right knee, and think, hey, it's too much on my back knee, bring yourself out of it. Go get a pillow, go get a towel, put it under, or just have that ready for next time. Now, palms go down, high lunge. With the high lunge, the leg is straight, back leg is straight. You're to your fingertips or to your palms, whatever you can do, or maybe you're up like this. For me, I start off with my fingers. My fingertips are a little bit lower, just because I'm a little tight, always on the right side. Actually, I might be able to do the palms right now. And you're just focusing on the breathing. Settle in the pose, accept where you are, and just focus on the breathing. And see, I need to go to my fingertips right now. And I'll go back down. Now, we're going to do the pigeon. So with the pigeon, left foot goes over to the right side. It's a foot down from the right hand. So 12 inches down. Square up the shoulders, square up the hips. And you just fall on top of the leg. In this pose, for now, you're not pushing down. You're just letting the body go where it goes. Accepting where it goes. And just focus on the breathing. Now, you bring yourself up. Arms go straight. And you're pushing the hips diagonally. So they're going down, and the back is scooping, pushing. And then you're going to find the spot. You're going to settle there. You're going to accept where you are. Maybe you're leaning. Maybe you're not. Try not to. But find that spot. And finally, or eventually settle in it. And just focus on the breathing. No matter where you are, your mind and body is connecting, and you're doing yoga. No matter where you are, you accept where you are. That's what you're learning on the yoga mat, acceptance. And then you're going to fall back on the leg, sink into the pose. Just accept where you are. Again, in this part of the pigeon, you're not pushing down. You're just accepting. Just letting the body go where it goes. You're going to bring yourself back up. Your arms are straight, pushing up, pushing the hips forward, diagonally. Back could be straight if that's where you are, but do a little scoop. Push the hips forward, diagonally. Back is scooping, head is dropping back if you can. And just find the spot right before you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, and then just accept where you are and focus on the breathing. Again, the focusing on the breathing is the link that allows the mind and body to become one, which is yoga. Now, we're going to go into the high lunge. You're not just going to go right into it from here. You're going to bring yourself out of the stretch just a little bit. And then you're going to bring the left foot up between the hands. Get there how you have to. We're not going to stay in the high lunge. We'll just settle here for a second or two. Settle. We use it as a transition. Then you go into the standing forward bend. The standing forward bend, you're pulling yourself in and down, and you're focusing on the breathing. Now in this pose, when you inhale, the belly swells with air, which slightly pushes you out of the pose. Very subtle movement. And then when you exhale, the belly goes in and you go back into the pose. So you're focusing on the breathing, aware of that subtle movement. This is why yoga sometimes is called a moving meditation. because you're aware of the movements, but you're focused on the breathing. Now you're going to bring the palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale, palms together, and then we're going to go to mountain pose. We have one more sun salutation, and it's just going to be the standard sun salutation. The left settle in the mountain, toes go up, so the toes, each toe touches one at a time, knees bend a little bit, hips are tilted, no tension in the arms, no tension in the shoulders, no tension in the neck, and then just focus on the breathing. And you want to make sure you're lengthened up, so you're as tall as you can get, but you're still letting the skeleton find its spot. Let the skeleton just stand. Now, one more sun salutation, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale, slowly, inhale. Exhale, as you exhale, hinge forward. Palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs, foreheads to the knees. Pull yourself in and down. Let yourself breathe and focus on the breathing. Palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. The low lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight or arched, palms are to the floor. Make sure the knee's not going over the toe. If it is, lengthen up some, and then just focus on the breathing. Now we're going to go into the high lunge. We're just going to go there for a second or two. So with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, settle in the high lunge, then move into the down dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling. No tension in the neck. And you're pushing to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. So you're pushing a little bit more than you were before, if you can. Settle there, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. Then you slide into the upper dog, so drop down to the knees and the chest. You slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor. Palms are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. Or you can do small cobra or modify it how you have to. And then just focus on the breathing. Accept where you are. Forget about trying to find the perfect pose. You kind of try to find it, then just accept where you are, focus on the breathing. Now back to downward dog, pushing into it. This time you're pushing a little bit more than you were before. Pushing a little bit more than you were before. Couldn't speak on that one. Arms are straight, legs are straight. And if your eyes are open, you're looking at your feet and you're pushing your face towards the feet. The left foot is up. Man, I'm losing my speech. I can't speak. Left foot is up. With the back foot, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Hips are square. Starting getting too relaxed. And you're pushing the hips forward diagonally. Back is straight or arch. Make sure the knee's not going over the toe. If it is, lengthen up some. Palms are to the floor, maybe to your fingertips. Or you're up like this. Whatever you need to do, just focus on the breathing. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge. We're not going to stay there. We'll settle here just for a second or two. Then move into the standing forward bend. I'm losing my ability to get instructions. I start to get too relaxed. If I get too relaxed, I do it all the time. If I get too relaxed, I can't really focus on the instruction. Even though I'm supposed to be focusing on my breathing, when you teach, you focus on the instruction. So you pull yourself in and down, palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Turn the palms out, push it down and out, exhale. And then you're going to go back to mountain pose. Now with the mountain pose, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches one at a time. Knees bend, hips are tilted. No tension in the arms or shoulders, neck is relaxed. Lengthen up, so get yourself as tall as you can. And find the spot where the skeleton is just standing. Now here, you're just going to watch yourself breathe. To do that, pay attention to the belly. As you inhale, the belly swells with air. As you exhale, the belly goes in. You're not controlling it, you're just watching it. Or bring your focus to the tip of your nose and just watch the air go in and out. Focus on the breathing. You're not controlling the breathing, you're just watching it. Your mind wants to control it sometimes. When you're watching it, you want to start breathing a certain way. Don't do that. They go with the mindset of control. Just watch it. Don't catch yourself trying to control it. When you do, just realize that you're watching it. We're just going to stay here a little bit longer. Bring the palms together. Namaste. That's it. It's number 55. YouTube live yoga routine. So I've been doing this for 55 days straight. So I have 310 left straight. So I plan to do it every day. Unless something comes up. Something may come up. Somebody can get sick, something can happen. So if that happens, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. So I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.